Welcome to the Seeing Way Overview. Today we're going over the Group 3 axioms 9 through 12. But first, let's review. What is the Seeing Way? Awakening through direct experience. What does that mean? The Seeing Way is the essential logic of Advaita Vedānta. Abstracted from its Vedic cultural packaging, reconstructed as an experiential Socratic dialogue, an Upaniṣadic operating system for the mind, leading inevitably to awakening or Brahman Realization. The Seeing Way is composed of several structural components, 10 Advaita learning objectives, 12 Advaita scriptural axioms, 7 typical cognitive errors, and 5 corrective Socratic moves. This is the whole system. Last time we went over the Group 2 axioms. Today we'll begin Group 3 with Axiom 9, limitation belongs only to objects. Axiom 10, the knower is non-dual. Axiom 11, the world appears through superimposition. And Axiom 12, knowledge dissolves superimposition. Axiom 9, limitation belongs only to objects. All limitations, time, space, form, location, duration, apply only to objects of experience. What is not an object cannot be limited in these ways. This axiom prevents the subtle contraction of awareness into a bounded entity. The knower is not large, small, old, young, near, or far. Those categories do not apply. Axiom 10. The knower is non-dual. If awareness is not limited and not an object, there can be no second awareness outside it. There is no boundary at which another knower could exist. This axiom completes the move from witness to non-duality. Awareness is not one among many. It is the single indivisible field in which all appearance arises. Axiom 11. The world appears through superimposition. The world appears when object qualities are mistakenly attributed to awareness, just as a snake appears when a rope is misperceived. The appearance feels real, but is cognitively imposed. This axiom explains the persistence of the world without granting it independent reality. It avoids both naive realism and nihilism by locating the error in perception, not existence. Axiom 12. Knowledge dissolves superimposition. When ignorance is removed, the superimposed appearance collapses. Nothing new is produced. Only misunderstanding is corrected. This axiom clarifies liberation, moksha, as epistemic, not experiential. Freedom is not an attainment in time, but the recognition of what always has been the case. Namaste. So the first group of axioms are the existential axioms. The second group are the ontological axioms, and this third group is the epistemic axioms. What does that mean? Epistemic is an adjective meaning of, relating to, or involving knowledge. Cognitive. 2. Of or pertaining to epistemology, epistemic model. And 3. Of or relating to knowledge or cognition. Cognitive. How many times do we have to hear it? That self-realization or liberation are cognitive, based on knowledge, not works. It doesn't matter how many fire ceremonies or how many rounds of japa or how many pujas or how many books you read or whatever you do, doesn't give you liberation. It's what you know. Epistemic, cognitive. So these 12 axioms give you the knowledge, the basic, necessary knowledge to approach liberation, moksha. And it's not that moksha is experiential. In other words, it's not existential. It's not like there's a blinding flash of light and suddenly you're enlightened. Or that suddenly everything turns blue or something. No, that's not it. It's cognitive. And it's also ontological. One realizes the relationship and status of being, consciousness, and bliss, Brahman, in relation to the world. That the Brahman, or consciousness or self, is eternal, uncreated, and undying, whereas the world is temporary, always changing, coming and going. And finally, these third group of axioms show us that this is a kind of knowledge. And isn't this what Shankaracharya has been saying all along? Enlightenment comes from knowledge, jnana. And here is the jnana, and he gives it in shloka after shloka, perfectly composed in Sanskrit. And now we are bringing it into ordinary human language and even mathematics. That this is the knowledge, this is the core knowledge of Advaita, that you need to realize it. And by going through these axioms, reading them, studying them, repeating them, playing card games with the flashcards, by doing all this, suddenly one day, it all comes together in your mind, and boom. Not that it changes anything. Not that it causes any phenomena. It doesn't. It's simply knowing what the reality is and being able to recognize it. That is self-realization. That is enlightenment. That is liberation. And that is the seeing way.